The night swallowed the road as I drove through the desolate countryside, the feeble glow of my headlights struggling against the oppressive darkness. The radio crackled with static, and the only company I had was the rhythmic hum of the engine. My knuckles gripped the steering wheel as I navigated the winding roads, each turn plunging me into deeper shadows. An eerie stillness settled in the air, broken only by the occasional rustle of leaves in the wind. I could feel the weight of the night pressing against the car, a suffocating presence that seeped into my bones. A flicker of unease danced in the corners of my mind as the road stretched on like an endless abyss. The forest on either side of the road loomed, the trees casting elongated shadows that seemed to whisper ancient secrets. I tried to shake off the growing sense of dread, attributing it to the isolation of the rural landscape. But then, the radio emitted a sudden burst of static, cutting through the silence like a ghostly wail. Startled, I glanced at the rearview mirror, catching a glimpse of something, an indistinct figure standing at the edge of the road. A chill ran down my spine as I strained to see, but the darkness swallowed the silhouette. Ignoring the unease creeping up my neck, I pressed on, the road weaving through the heart of the forest. The headlights revealed gnarled branches that reached out like skeletal fingers, creating an otherworldly canopy above. My surroundings became a haunting labyrinth, the twists and turns disorienting. Suddenly, the engine coughed, and the headlights flickered. Panic set in as the car sputtered, coasting to an ominous silence. I cursed under my breath, glancing at the fuel gauge. It was dangerously low. My heart pounded, and I desperately hoped for a miracle in the inky blackness. As if summoned by my desperation, a dim light appeared in the distance. A flickering neon sign emerged from the shadows, a dilapidated motel at the roadside. Grateful for the potential refuge, I stumbled out into the chilly night. The motel looked abandoned, a relic from a forgotten era. The air was thick with an otherworldly stillness as I approached the front desk. A bell jingled overhead, but there was no sign of an attendant. I called out, my voice echoing through the empty lobby, but the only response was the distant howl of the wind. Determined to find help, I followed a dimly lit corridor to a room with a faint light emanating from within. The door creaked open with reluctance, revealing a room frozen in time. Dust-covered furniture, peeling wallpaper, and a bed with faded floral sheets, remnants of a past that refused to fade away. As I searched for a phone, the room seemed to pulse with a strange energy. A whisper brushed against my ear, words indistinct yet haunting. I turned, half expecting to find someone else in the room, but I was met with emptiness. Shaking off the unease, I picked up an old rotary phone, its cord tangled like forgotten memories. As I dialed for assistance, a voice whispered through the line, a spectral murmur that sent shivers down my spine. The connection faded, leaving me in a chilling silence. I hurried back to the lobby, but the motel seemed to have transformed. The walls bled with shadows, and the flickering neon sign outside cast a ghastly glow. The air felt heavy, each step through the dimly lit corridor echoing with a foreboding resonance. As I reached the entrance, a figure materialized in the doorway, a silhouette against the unnatural radiance. It was the same figure I had seen on the road, now more distinct, its features obscured by the play of shadows. Fear gripped me as I stumbled backward, the figure advancing with an otherworldly grace. Desperation fueled my retreat, and I found myself back in the room with the flickering light. The spectral whispers grew louder, forming words that clawed at the edges of my consciousness. "Leave," the whispers urged, an ethereal chorus that seemed to resonate from the walls themselves. But escape was futile. The room became a labyrinth, the corridors twisting into maddening paths that defied logic. As the figure closed in, the motel seemed to devour reality. Walls crumbled into darkness, and the once familiar surroundings warped into a surreal nightmare. The air became suffocating, and the whispers grew into screams. In an attempt to break free, I burst through a door, stumbling into the shadows. Behind me, the hotel vanished. I found myself back on the desolate road, trees looming on either side. The car sat there, headlights illuminating the road ahead. I hesitated, the memory of the spectral motel still fresh in my mind. The figure stood in the distance, a silhouette against the eternal night. Confused, I got back into the car, revving her to life. The road stretched on, its twists and turns no longer a source of fear, but a beckoning call. The figure disappeared into the shadows, the whispers lingering like a haunting melody. As I drove into the abyss, I couldn't shake the feeling that the night had claimed a piece of my soul. The road, once a conduit to escape, had become a portal to a realm where reality and nightmare coexisted, a place where the darkness held secrets that defied comprehension.